Hello goblins, it's Chris, Eldritch Pipes, with this week's pipes. If you watched last week's, you'll remember I only had one, and I predicted that I would have a boatload to show you this week. Not quite a boatload, but I do have a few, and one is available. I'm smoking the trusty workhorse, the Acorn, and I'm smoking the Cornell and Deal Carolina Red Flake with Perique. Such a lovely blend. I was smoking it, trying to gather my thoughts for the video, and I found myself getting just lost in thought. It's a very meditative blend. That's what I'm going to call it. Very relaxing. All right. Before I get off topic. Oh, one thing I did want to say. If you're a pipe maker and you use my rods and you're in the States, you know that Raw Crafted have been out of stock of most of the range for a little while now. They are back in stock as of this week, so all good there, and hopefully we'll be able to keep it in stock for the time being. That's the plan. What am I going to show you first? I'm going to put this down. Right. Hopefully we won't do any pipe juggling. 3 pipes to show you. 2 are part of a 3-pipe commission. And I might actually show you the work in progress of the 3rd one. And then I'll show you the one that's available at the end. And then we'll talk about this week's pipe, and about which pipe you might want to vote for that I'll try and make. All right. So the first one is the world-renowned Dr. Silence pipe. This I've done in a cordovan blast. It's a very dark brown. Very dark brown. It's getting on for black, but it's not quite there. In the brighter light, you can see the tones going on, but in low light, it quite often comes across as black. Just quite a light, just a texture, a light sandblast texture on this one, and nice. Let's call that a medium craggy rim. And the Cumberland came out really interesting on this one. Just these kind of like little streaks of red in mostly black, which is unusual. I'm not sure where in the rod, whether it's the top, middle, or bottom, that one came from, because it's a rod that I've had for a little while, and I'm not sure which end I started on. If you are new to the channel and you haven't seen these before, the Dr. Silence reading pipes, they're 7.5 inches long. The ball is about 2 inches deep, and they're a sitter pipe as well, because they've got a flattish bottom. So there you go. The as I say, the world famous reading pipe. Now, the second pipe in this lot. This is a pipe that I haven't made in quite some time. In fact, this is only the second one I made ever, I think. The first one was a smooth. This is a contrast blast. I'll tell you all about it when I show you. This is a whiskey glass. I can't remember when I first made the original. It was many moons ago, and if you're familiar with the Glencairn whiskey glass shape, I think I'm right. That's what the shape is based on. And this one is in a chocolate and yellow contrast blast. As you can see, it's all the straight grain in the coming out in the contrast. A little bit heavier on the blast on this one. You can just like see that ring grain coming out a little. I wasn't really focusing on getting the ring grain out on these ones. I was more focusing on the contrast blast for this one. So yeah, it wasn't a big rugged look that I was going for this chap. And rare for me, just a black stem. It's my resin, but black, which is something that I hardly ever do. I can't even remember the last black stem I made. But I don't know, something about this shape screamed black stem at me. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because the original had a black stem, although I think the original was vulcanite or ebonite, which is the same stuff. But yeah, so there you go. Only the second ever whiskey glass I've made. Quite pleased with that fellow. I've got a feeling I might have another whiskey glass somewhere on my books coming up later in the year. So that'll make 3. What should I show you? Oh, actually, maybe I'll do this one now. So that's the third pipe in that 3-pipe commission is going to be a snail, but no ordinary snail. Not that the snails are ordinary anyway, but this is an extra special snail. This is going to be an iridescent snail. So I've just done all the technical work so far, so it's just been drilled, and it has a Delrin lined mortise. So it's a semi calabash. Well, it is a reverse calabash, but I don't know. I didn't make the shape with a reverse calabash in mind. It became a kind of when people saw it, they said, "Hey, is that a reverse calabash?" Because the snail shell on the back does look like it could well be a chamber, and so I thought I probably kind of do have to make it a chamber. Otherwise, maybe it would be disappointing if it didn't. So these are reverse calabashes, but the second chamber isn't huge, but it is there, and it's Delrin lined. So you can't really see, but that's the design that I work from. So you can see the design of the Delrin insert there. So that's the calabash chamber. That's the secondary chamber there, and the stem sits in this recess up here. And the number is just to remind me of the depth that the chamber goes to, because yeah, you have to write it down when you're doing it, because you don't always cut. Sometimes you cut closer, sometimes you cut far away. You just have to make a little note of it. But you can sort of see how the resin's going to be there, and a little bit of it there. This bit's going to get carved away. It'll just be like this bit here. But that should be a very interesting pipe for next week. You'll see that one finish next week. All right. So the pipe available this week is, if I say it myself, a little bit special. It's a new shape. I haven't made it before. It was the little history to it was that it was meant to be for the next Four Horsemen box set, where the theme is sitters. But I had this idea and I made it, and it wound up being too big for the box. Sorry, Ian and Mike and Chris. So I'm going to make another pipe for that box set. But I called this one the Night Gaunt. Night Gaunts sort of like have this long... Maybe I should just show you. And I'll talk about the other name that it almost had. So, there you go. The Night Gaunt. So, Night Gaunts are monstrous creatures of dream, envisioned by Lovecraft. Who else? And apart from having black, almost featureless bodies, this one obviously isn't. I've investigated it. They have like these long whippy tails. So that's kind of like that was the inspiration for this pipe. It's also got 3 feet. I remember that one of the first monsters of the Cthulhu mythos I ever saw was not Hastur, oh my goodness, Nyarlathotep. And he's represented and as having, one of his forms is like this 3-footed thing, which I thought was deeply weird. And so my idea for the sitter was that it would stand on 3 legs. So I guess it's a bit of a mishmash, this pipe of Night Gaunt and Nyarlathotep, although I think Dark Young have 3 feet as well. Pretty gnarly plateau rim there. I hardly ever do rusticated, but when I do, I like to do sort of a heavy detail finish. And yeah, this took some time. So I don't know if you can guess the name it almost had when I was showing it to the guys. They said it looks like a tooth, and actually it really, I thought, yeah, it does look like a tooth. That had occurred to me as well. And in fact, in the original version, before I was talking about this pipe with Chris Asquith, and my original version was going to have 4 feet. I don't know why. Since part of the image was 3 feet, but I thought maybe 4 feet would be the best way. And Chris said, if you want it to stand on anything, it's more solid on 3 feet. I thought, yeah, you're probably right. And it fitted with what I wanted to do. Obviously, it's got this crazy whiptail olive Cumberland stem. And I wanted to show you that it does sit. So I thought, what should it sit on? I thought, I know, I'll grab a box of Ardbeg. What better? There you go. Looks like he's about to shoot off somewhere. So that, I was going to say I hardly make any sitting pipes, but actually the Dr. Slightens is a sitting pipe, but you know, like this, designed as a sitter. So there you go. If you like that one, if you're interested, email me at the usual place. It's in the description. Just popping this back inside this bag. And we can have a talk. All right. So the only thing left to do is to decide what the special pipe for next week is. I'm going to suggest a shroom as a possibility. I haven't made a shroom in a while. I was looking forward to doing that. But if you've thought of something that you'd like to see me have a go at, just pop a comment down, and who knows. The one I like best is the one I'll give a shot. Give a shot to. You never know. Or the one that gets the most enthusiastic votes, if such a thing can happen in the comments. I don't know. All right. That's enough from me. I will see you next, probably, for next week's pipes. which is kind of the only video I'm doing at the moment. Keep promising myself to do some tobacco reviews. I've really got to get myself into gear and do that. It has been getting a little bit warmer around here, so it's a little less unpleasant in the workshop in the evening time. But it could do with maybe getting a little warmer yet before I can like have the door open and sit back and mull a blend. All right, that's it from me. I'll see you next week. Till then, take it very easy. Your loyal pipe maker.